So light just turned red. You can see like a kind of a tan colored car that went through, and so that, I'm just trying to get that straight. So that van, that work van, it said O'Brien, I believe. So they came from a 90 kilometer an hour road and they turned onto an 80 kilometer an hour road. I'm just trying to understand that. And anybody that knows Medway Road, that's west of here to the left of us, there is literally 2 houses and maybe 4 farms on that road. So the odds that he's coming from that direction, lives on that road, is he could win the lottery about 3 times in a row. So we know that not to be true. I'm wondering if this is going to be one of those people that comes from Hyde Park Road, goes to the 80 kilometer an hour road, and then goes back to the 90 kilometer an hour road. Or better yet, goes from the 90 kilometer an hour, comes to the 80 and does like a zigzag to get back to the highway when they could have just continued on straight on that road that we were just at the intersection. They could have been at the highway already. I made a nice video yesterday showing the amount of traffic that was turning left. I think it was 3 that got to the end of this road and hung a left. They had to sit through 2 traffic lights at 2.5-3 minutes apiece, and had to go through all these hills, all that kind of stuff. And then they drove towards the 90 kilometer an hour road, and they came from there. So why would you come to this road, do 10 kilometers an hour less, sit at 2 traffic lights, and waste your time? And not only that, but then you've made it so bad on this road now that Middlesex Center has installed not 1 but 2 traffic lights, the newest one being the next one that we're coming up to, that one that we were just at. It's only been there for about 3 maybe 4 years. And they were put in on the sole purpose of trying to curb some of these shortcutting drivers that are using this road. Did I forget to mention, I live on Wonderland Road. My destination is at the end of Wonderland Road. I am one of the very, very few people that absolutely have to use this road 5 days a week to go to and from work. I'd like to also point out that in the wintertime, this road is not plowed and this road is not salted. We've documented trucks flipping over, cars going off-road, slow drivers that aren't equipped. They got like little front-wheel drive vehicles with no snow tires on them. You know, they're doing like 10 kilometers an hour when like 60 is probably the safe driving speed on this road. We've documented that. We've documented people that just have absolutely no clue, but they know that they're following a bunch of other people and they think that this must be the way. So it sucks. Like, I don't know how else to better describe that and better articulate that. But it just really, really sucks that somebody that absolutely has to use this road like me is getting bogged down by people that do not have to use this road and probably have. In the case of that Orion truck, he's got at least another route that it could go. So here we go. So now he's hanging a right. He caused this pickup truck in front of me to miss the light, which in turn probably caused me to miss the light. But now if you were to draw this on a map, he did a zigzag. So instead of continuing up Medway Road, which is free and clear on all weekdays, yes, there is Midway School on it, but he's trying to get to the highway and he's trying to get up here, so he's hanging left. That left lane is completely free every single day, and we've documented that too, and we've had to divert and go around. So here's a Mercedes. So they're coming from Ilderton. They've come from the 90-kilometer-hour road just to go to an 80-kilometer-hour road. Right? You know Ilderton. There is exactly 5 houses coming into town. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's it. So the odds that that Mercedes driver lives at one of those 5 houses, again, you could probably win the lottery 3 times over. But getting back to that O'Brien truck, he was on that road. He could have just continued straight. He would have hit the highway. He would have already been at his destination. But instead, I don't know if it's a fear of missing out or whatever, but they see a bunch of traffic on Wonderland. They think that must be the way. But he could have went up Ilderton Road, and he would have been there already. Could have went up Hyde Park Road 10 kilometers an hour faster. Would have been there already. But instead comes up here and for sure causes this truck in front of me to miss the light and potentially cause me to miss that light. And that light was installed by Middlesex Center because of the amount of traffic. Don't blink. Your eyes don't deceive you. There's the second house, the third house, and the fourth house. That one technically is on 12 Mile, but you want to include that, that's 5 houses. There is 5 houses on this stretch of road, plus a farmhouse up here. That's it. 5 houses. You think those 5 houses are producing all this traffic that deserves a traffic light being put in? That's unfair. They're the ones that have to pay for it to be put in, and then they're the ones through taxation, are the ones that have to pay to maintain that light now because of people that are cutting through that have absolutely no business being here. And that O'Brien truck was one of them, and we'll see where this Mercedes go. Because that Mercedes, well, regardless of where they go, they're cutting through. It's just a matter of, are they really not thinking and then they're hanging a left, or are they just kind of not thinking and then they're hanging a right, going towards the highway? I wish the truck in front of me would go the speed limit and then we'd be able to see that person, but that Mercedes is probably exceeding the speed limit and that's not helping either. It just makes for a frustrating drive, and it's frustrating to know that, you know, these other residents are the ones that ultimately have to pay for it, literally and figuratively. That's why I apologize. There is a 6th house on here, hence the hidden driveway sign, and a 7th. There's 7 houses. There's the farmhouse I was talking about. That's it. That is it for this stretch of road. For some 4 or 5 kilometers, there's 7 houses and a farm with a farmhouse, and I can't even tell if that farmhouse is habitable. It sure as hell doesn't look like with windows busted out of it, but we'll say that that's a house. You know, that's it. That's it for this road. Here's that idiot with the brand new vehicle that's got no working headlights or daytime running lights. And I say idiot because it's going on 5-6 months now. You got a car that blends in with the road and you refuse to fix things. You're supposed to do a circle check every single day to determine whether your headlights are working, taillights are working, turn signals, you know, there's nothing hanging off the vehicle, etc., etc. It's up to you as a driver to make sure that everything's safe. And these drivers just refuse to do it. And I mean, if it's not going to be enforced, then like there's a problem there too, I guess. You know, it shouldn't go probably 5-6 months without being seen, but you know, I know that the OPP have a lot of other things to do too, and perhaps it just hasn't been seen. It is possible, you know. So, not criticizing the OPP at all. That's not the point of that statement. It's just, it's been a long time. This person has not done anything to do it. I really wish somebody would force them to, but here we are. I'm trying to see where that Mercedes driver ended up here. I would laugh out loud if they hang a left. I'll laugh out loud if this pickup truck hangs a left too, but especially that Mercedes, they're hanging a left. They are hanging a left. Holy shit. No way. So that white Mercedes is up there right now. And there they go. So they just hung a left. Unbelievable. So you came from the 90-kilometer-hour road. You drove past it. You came up to an 80-kilometer-hour road. Lucky enough that you made the actual traffic light. Then you went up an 80-kilometer-hour road. Remember, 10 kilometers an hour slower than the other one. Then you came up here and you sat here waiting to turn left. And again, this is the people that you have to deal with on this road. And this is why a set of traffic lights had to be installed on this road, because of idiots like that. Guy behind me just rolled the stop sign. Again, you're in that much of a hurry that you got to roll a stop sign. That's not the road for you. You could go down a road that's 10 kilometers an hour faster and you'd already be there. I don't get people. So that's two drivers. One of them who did a 360 on themselves, that Mercedes, and completely backtracked on themselves. And then that O'Brien truck that if you drew it out on a map, it would look like a bolt of lightning or its head. Just the most inefficient route that you could possibly imagine to get to the same point. It doesn't take much to think about this. In fact, it takes more to actually think against it. You know, it would take more to actually plan a trip that's counterintuitive and that's actually more indirect and more unsafe, like those drivers did. You'd actually have to sit down and think about it. Unbelievable. That's 2 days in a row now that we've seen just absolutely idiotic drivers doing things that they should never be allowed to do and never should do. Anybody's wondering, it's November 12th today? Yeah, it's hard to rationalize irrational thoughts, right? Why would you drive back on yourself? Why would you zigzag? Why would you drive on somebody's road that you have absolutely no business being on? I don't know. But if everybody would contribute, you know, pay attention, obey the rules of the road, you know, it'd be such an easier world to live in. You know, and I wouldn't have this channel because I'd be able to take it down because everybody's doing exactly what they should be doing when they should be doing it. Anyways, stay safe, everyone.